Yep. Them grades just getting in.
Everybody's on popping in there. I
Yeah.
see your shit shining through.
Yeah. And I got like a little piece somewhere, right?
Word. You got to catch up.
Shoot.
Catch up. More wisdom you get.
Oh.
You hang with me more. The more wisdom you get more grades.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
I'm probably rubbing off. After the word say, I'm rubbing off on you. So
Oh,
I wrote with the word. I wrote with the word definition of it.
that's what that is. Wisdom.
Yeah,
Uh,
wisdom.
I'll take that. Well, welcome back across the bridge, bridging the gap between the globe and Jacksonville, Florida. It's your boy Jahmal Rashad. We got Keezy Kool in the building. I
Yo, what's
actually was
happening?
just in Jacksonville. So shout out to Duval County. Always love being in the
Oh.
city. How,
Mhm.
how you feeling, brother? How was your weekend?
I'm feeling real good, man. My weekend was full of work. I believe I worked. It was quiz a fad weekend, man. I worked. That's all. It was a blur, really, bro. It was a blur. I know. I see. Look like you had a lot more fun than I did this weekend.
I mean, you kicked it off Thursday, you know what I'm saying? The NFL draft, you was out, you was
Yeah,
interviewing, you was in the
yeah,
streets, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I was getting
yeah.
feedback. People
Get
was like,
my little
yo,
hits from the street on me. Hits from the street. Yeah, man. People was vibing, man. Them folks was happy in there.
yeah,
They shot the, we gonna get there, boy. They
yeah,
shot the hell out of us.
yeah. Not everybody. Journey was spot on. I ain't gonna lie
Yeah,
to you.
yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie
yeah.
to you. But yeah, man, I just got back in town today. I feel a little off, you know what I'm saying? Because like I had such a blast the past week being in Florida. It was a great time. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Caitlin. Your wedding was phenomenal. I had a blast. Markel said by the picture he could tell I had a blast. But shout out, shout out to you all. Happy marriage, happy life. But yeah, I just got back in town, man. So gotta get back into the groove of everything. But one of the highlights from the trip, of course, we'll kick it off. NFL draft. You know what I'm saying? The Jaguars stole the headlines.
Get
They
into it. Get into
represented.
it.
They really making me prophetic again. You know what I'm saying? Like I've tried to talk to you about leadership. I tried to talk to you about the change. I tried to talk to you about what I was most excited about seeing and hearing from them to
Mhm.
see if there was consistency. And they may have taken over the top for me, but I'm gonna pause first. How was the draft for you? What stood out? You know, where do you want to go when you think
Let's
about the
get right into it, man. Like prophetic. Well, this is what I've been saying the Jaguars need to do for years. I said, get you a playmaker, trade up, trade down, but whatever you do not just take somebody at your spot. This year they did that. They traded up. Now, word on the street is city people. Some think it was too much. Some think they should have traded back down. You know, people divided this Jacksonville. You all don't know you up from down, right from left, so it's all good. Me personally, I don't think it was a bad move. I think it was a good move going up, showing that you do mean business. You different. You not just a run of the mill old timers. Um, Truthfully though, I'm just not sold on Travis Hunter for multitude of reasons. But that's neither here nor there. I like the move. I like the pick. Even if I'm not sold on him, I like what the Jaguars doing with this new stadium we got coming. You got to get star power in here. The Jaguars got to figure out how they want to use them, using them the right way. And he got to make a believer out of me. Because usually these guys, I told Journey today, those folks who come with all that hype historically, they don't live up to it. So Reggie Bush, Peter Ward, Johnny Manziel, list goes on and on and on and on. All those gadget type players, those Swiss Army knife type dudes, they usually don't look to the height in the NFL. Hopefully he do. Hopefully he sell a lot of jerseys. Hopefully that will bring more nationally televised games to the city, more late night games, because night games be turned up around here. The latest be out. So shout out Travis Hunter. Let's talk about that dancing, man. That dancing, I ain't with all that weird ass dancing, man. Cut it out. But you know, the Jaguars stole the show. They stole the show for real, for real.
the man can't dance,
What's all that dancing, man? Cut that shit out. Get to work.
bro? He
No,
just
he can't. You know he can't dance. He can't dance. And he can't dance. He
you
can't
just
dance.
old and grumpy, man.
And
Like,
maybe I'm an old school type of cat. Cut that dancing out.
oh my gosh.
I ain't with it.
Before I get in, I mean, there's one thing I do want to ask you before I state what I gotta state. You say you don't believe in him, or what was that?
I
He
said
got to prove you
he
wrong.
got to prove it to me. He got to prove it to me because
Prove
I just
what
told you
exactly?
that he gonna live up to the hype of all this hype that he has. He has a lot of hype going. They can tell me the best player in the draft. He can change franchise, his generation talent. We gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Cause I done seen draft, I done seen play like this before. And over my years of learning, I done learned like, them guys might not necessarily pan out. Name, but the guys I named, Reggie Bush and Peter Ward. Two names come to mind off top. You know what I'm saying? Who had hella hype, was used the most of the ways, and they get that, you be like, God damn, bro, you really ain't even live up to it. So we gonna see.
Uh, I could see Reggie or Reggie Bush, Peter Ward. Yeah, that's like Santana Moss. They were all kind of the same.
No, hell no. You tripping. Hell no. Go do your Googles, man. Hell no. Go ahead.
Did Santana Moss have a better NFL career than Peter Ward?
That's what I'm sitting there saying, but he wasn't as hype coming out. It's what I'm saying. Peter hype coming out of college, Peter Ward was the shit. Like he won the Heisman and everything. After Peter Ward, he won the Heisman. He beat Vic in the hell no. Hell no.
Okay, okay. So yeah, when I think about the Jaguar pick, just to speak about that, he doesn't have to live up to the hype. I think it's just again regurgitating the message of James Gladstone, right? He stated all he has to do is him. He just has to be himself. You know what I'm saying? And when I think about the leadership, from the leadership standpoint, what they're doing is they're creating competition. They're putting in players that have a level of excellence or have a level of, love and desire to play the game of football. And those are the things that we need here in Jacksonville, right? When I think about Trevor Lawrence, I wasn't a huge fan of his in college, but what was demonstrated to me is that if he has explosive pieces, people who can play the game of football at a high level, and some opportunity to throw the ball in the pocket, he can produce a winning team, let alone a championship. So now when I look at our roster from the receiver position, you have someone in Brian Thomas Jr. who was a rookie last year, was a top 5 wide receiver, right? So he only gets better, and we now understand what he is. So the odds are teams will now focus on that type of receiver when you play the team. Well, what you have now is what you call a 1B wide receiver, right? You have someone who's equally explosive. You have somebody who can catch the ball, whether it's a man draped all over him, or he's beating the receiver down the field, or he can create from a slant, a screen pass, or do the gadget gadget stuff as you were mentioning, right? So you have now two top end young receivers to go with the quarterback who, from past experience, has excelled whenever he's had two dynamic receivers. One of them being T. Higgins, who's with the Cincinnati Bengals, right? So I think that's one of the first things I think about is you're putting pieces around a talent, a generational talent, as they say with Trevor Lawrence, to now execute and move the ball down the field at an explosive pace. The second thing is bringing in somebody who has a work ethic, right, that can now impact other players. So you talked about last year our highest paid players like Josh Allen Hines, Trevor Lawrence not being necessarily the best players, right? But now you can bring in people like a Brian Thomas Jr. who's like, all right, that dude is real. You have a uh, Travis Hunter, when you look at him, you're like, all right, this dude is real. I don't know if the Jaguars have ever drafted a Heisman Trophy winner before. So that is also just a mindset like, all right, this dude is real coming into the organization. So that's my second point. The third point is the impact of the city, right? When you can galvanize the city, and that's why I love the Jaguars so much because I believe they're a pivotal aspect of our city. If they can win, the city wins. There's positive energy. There's a lot of growth happening, and I think he'll be the perfect piece to put us on display. So the night game, so you can hang out with the women. The national games, right? So people can get more eyes on the city of Jacksonville, and that'll be a plus for us because we'll already be in position, highlighting the city. But also just to have a winner. And I think Jacksonville's the perfect place for him specifically because he all he does is love football and he loves to fish. So I think it was a perfect investment ultimately by the leadership to say, hey, we see somebody we like, we're gonna go after and get him, and we'll mortgage, a first round pick in the future because we believe it will pan out based on the coach and the opportunity that they have to create the offense that they did in Tampa Bay. So I actually love the pick. I'm glad they invested into the future. And ultimately, for me, it aligns with everything that they've been saying. And I really think it's going to produce when it comes onto the field over the next, 2 to 3, 4, or 5 years.
Where do you see him being used? How do you see rookie season going? Where think he gonna be used at the most? And do
Why?
you believe in the both ways thing?
I do. I believe he's someone you can use in key situations. So I believe he's someone where if you have that 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, if the running game isn't something that's viable that you can just rely on, you can throw it out to him and let him go get the first down on the screenplay. You can go deep again, so you can have more explosive plays, slant routes that can take you from a 2nd and 10 to a first down, right? So I think he'll be used in key situations on defense, but more incorporated into the offense.
Starting wide receiver.
Yeah, a starting wide receiver, but key situations when it comes to defense, mainly because with defense, right, you do have to tackle. And
Right.
if you got whoever,
Derrick
right?
Henry.
Derrick
Derrick Henry
Henry
coming your
running
way.
at you, you gotta put the pads on them. You know what I'm saying? So I would limit that initially, initially just to see like, all right, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What is his stamina when it comes to enduring the physical game of the NFL over four
Right.
quarters, over 17, 18 game season? Training camp. So I'm gonna pay attention to training camp just to really get a lot more understanding of what they're gonna do. But again, with this leadership, they do a great job of communicating, and I think they'll give us an idea of what it will look like. And then I'm, of course, as a fan, I'm gonna pay attention and watch. So I think first year he can be like a 8 to 900 yard yards, maybe 70 receptions, 5 or 6 touchdowns.
That sound about right.
And I think he can just make key plays, right? Those third downs to move the ball. He can be somebody who does that. On the defensive side, he may mess around, have 2 interceptions, but just really be somebody on key defensive plays, being able to match up. And that they have a squad now. Because when you put somebody like that, right, to fill gaps, I think that's a tremendous pickup, man. And then it creates depth now because people who you may have counted on to be the starter or be that person in that key situation, you plug him in and now you've created depth in any role that he plays. So I like the 2-for-1 pick. I like who he is as a person. He fits the city. He can dance as long as he's scoring them touchdowns. He can dance. So
Mhm.
I'm excited, bro. Um, so yeah, that's my take on the Jaguars. They had a solid draft overall, so I look forward to see how it all pans out, of course. But they picked up a cornerback in the second round too out of Tulane, so we're gonna
Yeah.
see. I think they got a leadership. That's what I'm mainly focused on. It was a nice draft. They stole the headlines, but that was my overall take.
They did that, man. They did that. I'm proud of the Jaguars finally.
Look at this guy,
Proud of them finally.
slowly, slowly inching over, but cool.
I can
So
cool.
let's talk about the draft overall, right? The first thing, and not more so about the players, but basically the headlines. Number one, this was the second most watched draft in NFL history.
That's crazy because that's crazy. I seen that. What was the first one?
In 2020.
Came out what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
I
like
felt
right around
like
the pandemic years.
oh okay. Yeah,
More,
that's crazy though, because I felt like go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Now if I said that's crazy, that's cool enough. I felt like this draft probably had like the least amount of star power to me. Like besides Travis Hunter, maybe Abdul Carter. I don't see no really like, and maybe the Gen to the running back. I'm like, I don't see too many like surefire hits. Like even the dude we got, I was like, he wanted to throw up. I'm like, this dude 5'10". Like I like big cornerbacks, but I'm just like, even Cam Ward, he from the U, but if you know, Cam Ward wasn't really projected to be no top dog in the beginning of the season last year. A lot of the receiver who they was mentioning to the Jaguars first last year, like, somebody got to be good out of it, right? But at the end of the day, it's just like this drive really wasn't all that. So
And this will
first,
get to my point when they get to Shador, and we'll transition into it. But it just speaks to how big the NFL really is and
they
where it's
they did it
going.
again to the NBA, bro. They shit on the NBA every chance they get, because the Shador thing could go so many different ways depending on how you look at it, right? But man, the NBA playoffs going on. This is a great playoffs, and the draft has completely Shador Sanders in the draft had completely said fuck it. You can't even talk about it for real.
The other thing before we get into Shador, it was located in Green Bay.
Yeah, man, that shit was
Green
thick.
Bay.
It was thick. People had it's like April. People got on hoodies. People people cold. That's crazy.
They had 600,000 fans
That's
attend, right?
crazy,
So
bro.
if you think about Green Bay, that's double their population size, right? So that's amazing to me that a city like Green Bay can host a draft and have that many people attend. Because I
Could you go
honestly
somewhere
don't,
like that?
huh?
Could you go? Could you go to something like that? I couldn't do that, bro. See,
So,
That's
so
that's
that
too many people for bro,
so that was the other thing too, like that I didn't really watch the draft. I only really watched for my
bro.
picks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too slow to me. 10, 11 minutes, everybody waits to the last second after the time runs out. Like it's a lot. It's over 3 days, but that's just me. 600,000 people attended this product, right? 7.5 million on average watched it. The third round, or the third day, which is typically one of the lowest days,
Yeah.
was was recorded as the third highest watched draft
You
ever.
bet you know why?
So that's getting to the point I want to transition to, right? Fedor Sanders, the biggest headline, right? He goes from maybe a top three to a fifth round, the 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. There's been a lot of hype. What's been your perspective, your take on the whole situation, why he slid, and the impact of
This
it?
is my rant right here. Straight up. I'm tired of black
Got it.
people crying. I'm tired of black folks crying, whining, screaming, big racist boogeyman, and then coming with false facts every time something happens. Right? Shador Sanders is a victim of, if he's a victim of anything, he's a victim of his daddy's foolishness. Because his daddy got up there on multiple occasions and sat there and said, I know these people. I'm not gonna let my son go play in the world. We got 6 teams he can't go to. I know these son. I know the owners. I know how to get down. I know behind the curtain. And then everybody black come talking about that's what Archie Manning did, which is a lie. You have no proof. You have no knowledge, no words of Archie Manning saying anything about Eli Manning in his draft. That's number one. Number two, Eli Manning specifically said he don't want to play with one team, and that was the Chargers. This nigga Dion said, I got 6 teams. And I think the main team he was talking about was Cleveland. So it's so funny they picked it because he said he didn't want to play in the cold, but at the same time, he Shador had on the Giants cleats. I'm pretty sure it's cold in New York, right? The other teams that was technically in the cold in that position, it was just New England. So you don't want your son to play for New England of all people, right? And I think it was Cleveland. That was it, right? So that's number one. Number two, back to Dion. If you claim you know all this stuff, you know this about the owners, why would you go out here and say all this crap? Why would like these people not hearing that and not gonna feel alienated, right? By what you're saying. Number three, I believe some of these reports that they were saying about Shador Sanders and his arrogance and his nonchalantness, because he was showing it on the field. He throwing his roller in the sky, waving it from high to high, and regular dudes' faces. I give him grace as a young man because we all been young, right? I don't really hold it against him. I do believe some of the reports may have been embellished. There might be some lies in there, but like I got put on Facebook, I said black people, you want to cry about everything. What you saw was the NFL show you how power really works. Them motherfuckers came together as a unit and said, we ain't taking him. We finna teach Deion Sanders a lesson real quick. Because if they want to say, hey man, Deion can be a problem, he could. You can see Deion right now tweeting, saying shit, riling up the fans, talking about he want to be a coach and all this, that, then the third. He want to come coach the team and his son feeling out of place. Nah, man, we need to pump the brakes on that. First of all, Shador Sanders ain't all that. He ain't all that at all. Like we just sat down and said, the draft class wasn't that good. That's another thing. Like Dion, if you know that this draft class ain't all that, none of these QBs are being talked about as if they game changers. You just digging your son a hole. And I think he realized that close to the draft because he backtracked on everything he said. He was like, "Oh, I talked to Shador, and I don't mind where his son go." I was like, "Yeah, you probably had a second, a moment of clarity to realize, like, oh shit, I'm seeing what they doing to him for real." And he probably knew that he wasn't gonna go top five, but that whole thing going to the fifth round. Once Pittsburgh ain't pick him, I said, "Oh no, this collusion." And the thing when they prank phone called them, that was cruel. It was funny, but it was cruel. That I don't care about to say that coach gave his son that number. He gave him that damn number, man. Like he ain't just missing find that damn phone number. He could have found every other number too. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, man, black folks, stop crying, stop always trying to sit here and say, "Oh, it's a problem when they do it. It's cool, we do it." For all that bullshit, like get it through your head. You are not them. You do not have the complexion for the connection. You cannot behave in the same manner that they do and think that you're gonna get off on it. We in Jacksonville. Kareem Brown is exhibit number one that you can't be doing shit like they do and think you're gonna get off on it, man. And that's all I gotta say.
That wasn't that bad.
I ain't finna cuss, but
But most of your argument though is about how black people feel.
stop crying. I've been hearing this my whole life. White people do it. Stop crying, bro. You know where we at.
Yeah.
Do it if you ain't gonna do something about it,
Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, bro, you crying, telling my son we showing a black man in power, dude. This is a job interview. You're going to get an application. You're going to get a job at the end of the day. So how many of us coming out of college gonna go tell a Fortune 500 company, I
Yeah.
ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that? Like, you get your ass fired or not hired. Like, hell you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, right? I'll probably say it a different way, but I agree with you from even the standpoint of like it even goes back to like school and people will tell me like, man, you crossed the line. But but what will happen is I wouldn't be doing anything. Somebody would do something and then I would just respond and they'll
Right,
say I crossed the line.
right.
I'd be like, well, you didn't cross the line when you started with me. So that's my point in this situation is can Shador flex his watch? I think he can. But then can the owners flex they ownership? Yes. Like I'm good with everybody. I'm good with everybody doing what they do. You just got to be aware of the consequences, which I think is what you're saying. Like if
Right,
they may not just flash the watch. They may say, "Hey, don't draft this dude to the fifth round." You know what I'm saying? Let's withhold $40 million from him or $30 million. Like that's they flex. But my first point is the league is not mandatory, right? Like I kept hearing, oh, this ain't fair or this ain't that. Like no one's required to play in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't really matter what your talent level is or what this is over there. It's all about NFL owners who own the league and they let in who they want to let in, whether it's from an executive standpoint or from a player standpoint, right? Like they run the league. So it's not mandatory that he had to get drafted or picked up or signed. So I thought that was the first point. Like he doesn't have to be drafted. And then if it was a situation where you're trying to prove a point, we can create our own league, or he can go play for the Canadian League, or he can not play football, right? Like if you want to make
right,
a point. So that was my first thing. Like it's not fair because it's not mandatory. Like he didn't have to be picked. So it wasn't a big deal from that standpoint to me. Point number two, already brought it up. But if you're gonna flex, just be aware that other people can flex as well. So I'm cool with Dion talking his talk. I'm cool with Shador talking his talk or whoever. Just understand that whoever you talking that talk to, they got the same right to talk that talk as well. So in this case, if it's the NFL and they want to flex their power or whatever it may be, then you got to live with that. Number three, this is big business, baby. We just talked about the NFL. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right,
NFL draft is doing
right,
better than the NBA playoff viewership. You know what I'm saying? Like this is big business. These dudes are balling when it comes down to America or really the world in the business that they're in. It's a cash cow. It don't stop. And then there's the talent that they use is replaceable every year.
Right, right,
Every year they have prime new young talent coming in to replace the product, and you don't even know who they are. You just see the numbers and you just happy to rep for your team.
right.
So this is big business at its highest level, and this is just an example of how they control and manipulate the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does that play into Shador Sanders? Well, from who was the number one pick? Cam Ward. Most people may know him, but most people are like, I didn't hear anything about Cam Ward. Everyone's focused on Shador Sanders. So what they did is they flexed their power by actually taking him, making him the headline for the whole entire draft, to where on day three it became the third highest viewed day overall. So they just turn that headline into more business, more viewership, which
Yep.
can turn into additional opportunities to draw in money, right?
Yep.
So this is big business, man. I got two more points. Number four, I thought it was a win for Cleveland or whoever picked him up because now he's a fifth round valued asset. So either A, he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder. You don't have to pay him as much. He can
Right.
compete. He can be a great backup, or he could be a franchise changing player, and you get him in the fifth round. So I thought it was advantageous for anybody after the third or fourth round. Go ahead and pick him up,
Right.
because he gonna bring people to the stadium, right? He's gonna create headlines, but at the same time, you got him at a great value. And then number five, this is just for him, right? Like you already said, you don't think he all that. Well, this is his opportunity to me. Like go out there, ball out, take over, show people that you were worthy of a number one pick, and gain that opportunity to create power now and leverage with the opportunity that you get. So we'll see if they give him a fair chance. The Cleveland Browns got like 100 QBs, so I'm not sure how it's going to shake out. But he got drafted. Now we can play ball and see what happens. But that's my take. I ain't with all the crying either, and I ain't gonna call racism and whatever it is. He flexed his power. That's how they flex their power. You
Called
just
him bluff,
gotta,
man.
yeah, you
You
just
called him
gotta
bluff.
deal with it, or again, create our own.
Yeah,
So
or shut your fucking mouth.
that too. So yeah, that's my take on Shador. I ain't think it was really that big of a deal. It's just big business, man, and that's how they play. So just gotta learn the rules, and if you want to abide by them, cool. If you don't, then you can do your own thing.
Right.
Well, that shattered the NBA playoffs, right? Most people were focused on the NFL draft all weekend, but there is some good action going on in the NBA first round. Some of it is disappointing, so
I bet.
I don't have to talk about all of them, but what's your take on what happened in the NBA playoffs this past weekend?
The reason I put that post up about me being prophetic, because like I said, I didn't want to see the Memphis Grizzlies be there. That's why my whole reason for saying the Kings was I don't want to see the Grizzlies play basketball, and we just saw why. They got swept. In the case of the Heat, it was kind of expected for them not to compete. Again, you got under 500 teams playing against 60-win teams. But here you got the Grizzlies, two all-star players. You fire your coach. You fire your coach before the damn season start. You come out here, you getting beat by 50 and 60 damn points. You get beat by 20 points the next game. Then John Morant sit out the last game, which he always manages to do every year, every series. He manages to miss a fucking game. Get him out of there. Maybe send him to Miami. So I'm happy that's over with. But I think that's as far as the Thunder's concerned, I think that's the last thing that they needed. Because another thing, I told you the Nuggets and the Clippers. I think it's going seven. They playing tonight. Game five is tonight. I got the Clippers winning. Um, the most competitive series that we've seen so far. So whoever wins these series, get out of here. Most competitive series we've seen so far. When they come out, the Thunder been sitting there chilling. If this goes seven games, the Thunder chilling. They ain't really even had to compete. They finna come into a team that's rolling. And we done seen plenty of time before how rest doesn't always play in your hands, especially when you play an experienced team in case of the Nuggets win. So that's my take on those two series. Great series, the Nuggets and Clippers, man. That last game, I've been on the edge of my seat every game except the first one because I missed it. Rockies and Warriors, I told you the Warriors gonna win that in six. The Rockets don't have a chance. They're too young. They need more experience. They had their run. They doing what they doing. Pacers and Bucks is over. The Pacers just won that series. You seen that?
Nah.
Dude just hit a game. I think Trent or somebody hit a game winning shot on the beat the Bucks, so they out. Prayers up for Dame Lillard. I don't know what's up with Dame, man. I don't know, man. Dame, ever since Dame divorced, that man has not been the same, bro. It go to my post today on Twitter about being a divorced man. Being a divorced man can take it out of you, boy. He ain't been the same. Achilles, oh man, I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going. Cavaliers and Heat, sweep. We both predicted sweeps in these series. The Celtics and Magic, they going at it. Celtics got to close it out right now. They up by 2. Knicks and Pistons, good series. We both said if this goes 7, the Knicks in trouble. So they got to close that shit out tonight at home. And now we finna get to the creme de la creme. Yo boys, your king GOAT James is the real GOAT after that bullshit he pulled last night. This nigga shoot everything he got out of him in the first half. He only took, I think, 2 shots in the fourth quarter, made none of them, turned the ball over. Like I told you, no rim protection. There's no defense being played. Anthony Edwards just sizing everybody up, breaking down that little punk ass zone, and going right in there and dishing it, whatever he need to do. Luka and LeBron do not play well together. How many times have you seen Luka and LeBron in pick and rolls? You don't see it. They're not doing it. When LeBron doing his thing, Luka is chilling. When Luka doing his thing, LeBron is chilling. Everybody else just getting cold, not doing nothing. Jackson Hayes can't play because LeBron is not Kyrie Irving, meaning he don't have the bag to break everybody down and do step back threes. He has a totally different game, which means he needs space. He can't have Jackson Hayes standing in the middle of the paint with his hand up, not being able to shoot. So that takes away from Luka's ability to throw lobs. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe the Lakers gonna be LeBron is out until the NBA, say it's okay. That's why I still say Lakers in 7. But we clearly seeing this series is over. They can't fuck with Ant-Man at all. LeBron and Julius Randle, like I said, is a big matchup. They banging bodies. That man 40 years old. That 40. And your goddamn coach, JJ Redick, the great mind that he is, hasn't made no adjustments besides going to his zone. He says, hey, for the first time in 25 years, I'm going to play the same people for an entire half. Luka Doncic is known for having bad conditioning, and LeBron is 40, and you say, I'm going to play the same damn lineup. And like, what do you think about, man? So I'm going to let you go. I feel like my prophecies all just coming true over and over and over again.
What? Lakers in 7, but your prophecies is
I
coming
said
true.
Lakers in 7. I said Lakers in
Woo!
7.
Boy, you wild for that one. So the best series to me so far is the Pistons versus the Knicks, and I feel bad for the Pistons, man. Like they've been losing games. I mean, I think every game has come down to the last play. When I think about the Knicks versus the Pistons, Cade Cunningham been balling. He really stepped it up. Malik Beasley, Hardaway. I already said they're, JR Swish, right? Like one day they on, one day they off. But overall, as a team, they've been balling. I don't think the big guy, Stewart, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's actually been playing recently. So I think that's a hit. I think they got one more year, but I wish they could have come up with a couple of games to take that series to 7 because I really think that's the best series so far. Jalen Brunson been balling. I don't know what it will translate to in the next round, but I really like that series, and I hope it goes 7. And it's similar to me, the Nuggets and the Clippers. I'll probably check that game out tonight when we wrap up. But Knicks and the Pistons, that's definitely been one, and I'll look out for the Pistons in the next year or so if they can pick up somebody else. They're gonna be nice. 2, I'm gonna give it up to Ant-Man, man. I really like what I'm seeing from Ant-Man. I like his just competitive vibe, right? His ability to attack, talk noise. He wants to face the greatest and put them out. But again, it goes back to our conversation from earlier this year. Is he going to actually step into the role, right? Like he can do it against Kevin Durant. He can do it against LeBron, right? So he can do it against the old legends and kind of make a name for himself. But can he do it against the up and coming, the people who's exactly on his level, right? So can he do it against an OKC? Can he do it against a Joker again? Can he do it against a Kawhi potentially? Or who seems to be the greatest? Draymond and the daggone Golden
Ooh, that's gonna be a good ass
Golden
series they play.
Warriors.
That's gonna be a good one they play, but it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, Draymond Green, he just does it all, and Steph Curry, he can shoot from anywhere, and then they have that key piece and Jimmy Butler. So I don't know. I have to revamp and revisit the second round, but I think it will be OKC, the Clippers, Minnesota, and the Warriors. So that's what I got in the West. But I think the playoffs will really turn up next week. I don't know, man. LeBron is 40, so I really just be rooting for him. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not expecting
He's 40.
24 year old Braun to really compete against Ant Edwards. He was balling the other night though. He was letting that mud ride, but
Mhm.
it just doesn't translate with the type of team that he seems to be playing with. Um, when you look at Minnesota, you got I'm talking about fourth, fifth option busing 30. It's hard to compete. It seems like the role players when they play LeBron have the best games of their lives, and his role players just, you know what I'm saying? They just out there. So
They just standing around. That's the
yeah,
LeBron system. The
yeah,
LeBron system, the Luca system is the same way. But like I was trying to say, when Luca get double and the lob them, you got Kyrie who can sit there and do everything that LeBron can't do. LeBron more bully ball. He
yeah,
gonna run in there so you can stop. Kyrie can boom, 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 step back, do this, that, and the third, so that can carry him. LeBron can't do that, man. So that I mean, that's the problem.
yeah. It is what it is. We'll see what happens, but I expect him to go home at this point. So what I'm most impressed with though is I think I called this coming out the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They dominated. Like
Yeah,
it's one
business.
thing to beat a team, right? But then you have like you said Boston was gonna run through the East, and they essentially are beating the Magic, but they're giving them some type of hope, right? When you think about Cleveland Cavaliers, it was no hope. It was so
Wow.
bad. I thought they was gonna fire Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. I thought the same shit.
they beat the Heat down, you know what I'm saying? And they have a game plan. Atkins, you know
God.
what I'm saying? He is a coach who had the Nets balling at one point, and now he got Cleveland taking over that JB Bickerstaff. They balling right now in Cleveland. That's who I really got. You know what I'm saying? Just going back to my whole Devin Booker versus Mitchell. We're seeing, I've been looking for Devin Booker. I can't find him anywhere, but Donovan Mitchell is still balling. He's better than Devin Booker. Sorry to catch this straight,
No,
Devin
it's
Booker.
not. No, it's not.
But we're gonna. I think we're gonna see OKC Cleveland in the finals. But we'll wait till we get closer. But that's what I'm thinking right now. Those are the best two teams, and they displaying it on every aspect. So that's my take. I'll watch the Clips versus Nuggets tonight. See what's cracking.
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
see. Gonna
but
be a
the
good
NBA
game, man.
NBA playoffs is
Kawhi ain't got hurt yet. As long as he don't get hurt, I told you when he on, that's the best player in the league, man. If that dude
yeah,
can just stay healthy, if he don't just tweak his leg, he is gonna be the best. This is gonna go seven. That's why I'm picking him because he'll hit a game winner in game seven and send the Nuggets home. So
yeah,
here's the Kawhi, just stay healthy. I don't care if they lose or not, just don't get hurt. Damn.
yeah, yeah. Kawhi is that dude, man. So good to see him back at it.
So
Hall of Fame, man. This is your group. Outkast, they were nominated to the Rock
mighty
and
oh,
Roll Hall of Fame.
the mighty,
What
mighty
does that
oh.
mean to you? Why are they even nominated for this? That's what I'm asking.
Man, they are nominated because they are the first rap group, like male rappers to ever win Grammy of the Year. They won Album of the Year. They went diamond. Love Below went diamond with Speaker Box. Every album went platinum. Every album was a classic. Every album transcended hip hop. Like, besides after the first album, don't nothing sound the same. They using live instruments. You got two top lyricists coming from a group of nothing but lyricists. They from the South, right? When they try to hold us back, hold us out, not give us our props, they come kicking the door down. You know what I'm saying? And just for me, man, like that whole collective, the Dungeon family, they just gave me a different perspective at a very young age. I'm talking about as early as 10 years old, being heavily influenced by rap, hip hop, and music, having like the bad side being like the hot boys and the trap and the thug gangster rappers, and then having them come along with the consciousness, speaking about God and just being aware of what you're doing, how you moving in the streets, how you treat women, along with Tupac, giving you a little revolutionary in it at a young age too, and just kind of growing with them. You know, I was with my daughter today. I was just playing all these songs. It's like every song you play, a child can just start vibing. She clapping in one song, she's stumping, she's nodding her head, she beating, she vibing, bombs of a bad dad, all that. So I'm just happy to see the Outkast, the mighty Outkast, get they do. When you knew it was coming, they like a shoe in. They first ballot. You knew how they was up there for it. They gotta get, they gotta get into Hall of Fame. I just feel like, man, I understand what 3000 is saying as a human being, but we need another Outkast album full length. Big Boy was good at first with them single projects, but it's so many. Some of them just be too much. You be like, all right, big, I feel this one on your own. You know, the last one was dope with him and Sleepy Brown and things, but hopefully we can get another Outkast album before them boys get too old. 'Cause I think they both turned 50 this year. Um, because just knowing them like a knowing like back in my hand. They're my favorite group. 3000, my favorite slash best rapper of all time. I played the flute album. We meditated that, me and my daughter. I'm cleaning up. The flute album gonna get played. They damn near can't do no wrong to me unless they just do something totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's above that. So shout out to Outkast, man. Shout out to Outkast.
Yeah, I bought this Stankonia album and I just didn't like it. Like it was it was the commercial songs, of course, but it just didn't get the replay value that I really like. But shout out to Outkast. I think they are a tremendous group. They are trendsetters. I appreciate them because they influence the music that I like to listen to. So when I
That
think
was
about
everybody.
yeah,
Everybody.
but me specifically, like my favorite artist is Currency, right? So he he had so many mixtapes, he rapped over a lot of their songs that I didn't even realize were their songs, right? So a lot of their songs that are very popular, I've heard it through him. So it's just a reminder of how much influence they've had that make me go back and actually listen to their music, right? To really appreciate their originality, to really appreciate the times that it was back then, and being from ATL, ATL and probably being one of my favorite. I mean, it's hard to compete. And I ask you what your favorites are, but that's one of my favorites. And the instrumentals, like you're saying, the production, and again, the influence that it has on the music that I listen to today. Even like Logic, raps on a lot of their production from back then. So I think they
Kendrick
had a huge,
Lamar, J.
huh?
Cole, Kendrick Lamar, all of them. They
Yeah,
all acknowledge
yeah,
that them boys, specifically 3000. Big Boy don't get enough credit. He don't get the credit he deserved because he definitely carried them in the very beginning stages. You know what I'm saying? 3000 was getting together and before Badu came and gave him that extra sauce. But you know, Big Boy need to get a lot more credit because he the one putting out the albums and carrying it on now. You know what I'm saying? He rapping, still going hard, and can go with any rapper. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. So my favorite, man, you say it's tough. It's between ATLians and Aquemini. I go back and forth. It depends on how I'm feeling. If you put a gun in my head and told me to pick, I'm gonna pick Aquemini simply because one of my favorite songs, period, in life is Liberation. And the message they kicking when 3000 say you can't worry about what a nigga think. That's liberation. That's something that stuck with me at a very young age. Specifically, can't be worried about being different. We go to Paxson. We move different than the average regular degular. You know what I'm saying? We might get judged because we ain't doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? Not the case as grown men, but when we was young, I'm pretty sure a lot of us felt that who went to Paxson. So can't be worried about what niggas think, man. You gotta do your own thing, live your life, and you see you see how that pan out for people when you stay true to who you are and not be a follower and don't try to blend in with the crowd so much that it takes away from you being your true self, you know?
yeah, man. I think Rosa Parks was probably like the first song that I really heard, being that that album came out in '98. So I was what, nine,
Yeah.
nine.
Mine was elevators. When we
Okay.
were little, that everybody in school, me and you, your mama and your cousin too. So everybody be saying it all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought about 5, 6 years
probably,
old.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably that one. Now that I think about it, but yeah, man. I mean, they've been around a while. Have you seen them live performance before?
Man, I ain't seen them live. The one time They stopped performing way back in the day. They went on one tour. They had on like I think they went on like one little festival type run, and I think by that time I was probably in the middle of the marriage and focused on that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I ain't, I wasn't even really traveling like that back then. So I seen the Goody Mob. I seen a lot of my favorites. So it's for sure though. If they ever go on tour again, I'm going to see them. I don't care what the price. If Outkast go do anything, I'm going to see them for sure.
Yeah, I seen Big Boy here in Jacksonville, and that's why I was like, how you talk about he don't get enough respect. Man, people was just walking out on him and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, gosh,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. You need the whole cast. You can't have just him.
it
You got to
was
have the whole cast.
this was at Super Bowl, so it was the Pepsi
Oh, you talking about back in
whatever.
the day when you bought like MC Hammer? Like way
Uh,
back in the day?
this was 2005.
Yeah, way back then. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kanye West. It was Freeway. Freeway performed Sierra and Big Boy. It probably was
Mm,
somebody else too.
mm.
But Big Boy was the headline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah,
Everybody, I was like, dang, like
nah, that ain't gonna
got
work.
crazy.
That ain't gonna work.
But shout out to him. It's cool just to see legends like that performing. But yeah, I never really been a fan to continue listening to their music. As far as it solo, but Outkast, yeah, like I said, I bought that album. It didn't resonate with me,
Yeah,
man.
that ain't the album. That's the album that everybody got on tune with. Stank
Yeah,
on you. That's the album that everybody got on tune. You gotta
yeah.
you gotta get
You
Southern
got to go
Platinum.
back.
And
Yeah,
yeah, you said if you ain't you probably you about with ATLians because of the elevated mentality. Aquemini, Southern Places they young. They talking about pimping hoes and slumming Cadillac doors on that one. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? But just to see their growth from Southern Places album when they talking about pimping hoes and slumming Cadillac doors to the next album, these boys talking about respecting women and they talking about looking at life totally. They done got children, so it just show you the maturation of a man. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And you kind of like just grow with them. And being that they stopped making music together at 30, I can still listen to the music today, and it's so fresh to me. Hearing them make songs about like church and relationship problems, because that's a big thing with Big Boy. He always talking about relationship problems. You hear it, you know what I'm saying? So it's always good with me, man. Shout out to the Outcast.
yeah.
Goody
Shout out,
Mob got to be
congrats,
next.
congrats. I still don't get the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but congratulations.
Yeah, I guess music, I guess music, I guess music. Period. I guess they call it. They're gonna consider it rock and roll. That's where everybody go. So, mm.
For sure. It was funny though. Before I go to the next trending topic here, I meditate pretty frequently. And I was on Peloton doing the one of the meditations. It was like 30 minutes. And it was just this song playing in the background with this whistle. And I'm like, why have I heard this instrumental? It was out Andre 3000 from his album. I don't
The
remember
flute, the
which
flute.
song. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm like, why is this sound like the whole time I'm trying to focus? And I'm like, man, why do I know this track? So shout out to him. I'm glad you and your daughter meditate. That's what's up, and you do it to somebody you respect. So
Right, right, right.
Shannon Sharp, man, I
This
don't even
dude,
know what to say, but this
this
dude,
dude.
talk about highs and lows. Highs and lows, man. So Shannon Sharp, of course, in the news right now for sexual assault. Appears that he connected with a 20-year-old, uh,
19.
19
19.
year old, what do they call that? Subscription OnlyFans
OnlyFans, yeah.
girl.
This guy.
Got himself in some trouble. Got some legs wrapped around his head right now. He's getting choked out.
Mhm.
He stepped away from ESPN. I haven't really seen him trending with Shay Shay's club and all of that. What's your take on this? How could you help your future young man, or yourself? You know what I'm saying? You talking about the Jaguars with the night games and the
Oh,
women.
my daughter. And we spent all of it. Shannon Sharp is one of the athletes who gives credence to the old stereotype of a dumb jock. Cause he a knucklehead, man. He just do stupid things, say stupid things. He believes stupid things. I'm like, dude, and this make me. It's like a full circle conversation because this is a supposed high value man here. This is what a lot of those high value men do. Single with no wives. They out here paying for it, but they paying for young girls and they paying top dollar. And these old dudes who not I listen to the old dudes all the time. I respect the OG, but in one area I consistently disagree with them. I tell them like, look, man, when it comes to women, the women you all grew up with and that era and that understanding is not how it is in 2025. It's a whole nother mentality going on with females these days. And you gotta really be able to be present in the moment, understand what the hell going on. This should happen to any man at any point in time. Even if you broke, you can find yourself in jail behind some dumb shit because some females just decided that she's sick of men or she tired of men's power and all these ridiculous things, patriarchy gotta die, all that type of stuff. But start with the elephant in the room, the age, you 56 years old, man. Why are you talking to a 19-year-old? 19-year-old 56, and then on top of that, she's a other, right? She's a other. Like, it's like, what are you've been around since the 80s and 90s. You know how the game go. You know. And you do this. And then you tell him he already had the instance with the fake Twitter, the fake Instagram recording when he missed and went live. You remember that?
It was fake.
No, what I'm saying is
Oh,
you can't miss and go live on Instagram. It's too many parameters in place. It's too many steps for you to miss and say, "Oh, I didn't know I was live." Nah, bro, you did it on purpose. And
okay.
Cameron broke that down for anybody who want to go see it. And I found out even trying to go live at the thing, it's way too much going on to miss and go live. So that's number one, right? Then he come out here with a Cat Williams interview, and I really think what he's trying to do is top Cat Williams because there's nothing he can do to top Cat Williams. That set the world on fire. Cat Williams and Monique told him. They told him about himself, and he wouldn't fight against it and go mess with the little young girl, man. I just don't understand what's wrong with dudes. Any dude, when you that old talking to a 19 or 22 year old. Me, myself, I'm 35. If she under 28, 29, I can't even deal with you. You know what I'm saying? I think every man should have themselves a age limit in themselves that I'm not gonna go too young. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, what we talking about? What's the conversation like? I can't build with you. I can't speak to you intelligently. I don't want to get down with you in that manner. Even I could be in the booty club. If a female tells me she's 22, 23, I'm like, nah, I'm straight. You know, go get somebody more seasoned. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Now, another area I say to my daughters, to women, I do say, I tell girls all the time, I say, hey man, if you're a young lady who you want to get married, you want to have kids, it will behoove you, in my opinion, to date a little bit older. Right? If you 23, 24 years old, 25, you want to get married, it doesn't make sense to date talk to do that's 30. Right? Not 56, not 45, but if you 30 and you 26, 24, 23, that man may be more in the space. If he want to marry you, he may be more well equipped, more knowledgeable to get married. But to be 21 in 2025 trying to marry another 21-year-old man, I don't think that's a good idea. That man ain't ready 9 times out of 10 for the responsibilities of being a faithful, monogamous husband in America at 21 years old. That's just my opinion. Um, so yeah, man, this the high value man. The whole high value man is bullshit based upon money, at least. You can't say a man is high value because that's what a lot of them dudes do. They are tricking off their cash on women left and right, and a lot of them are others. They are not the sisters.
Yeah, you said a lot, man. Um, just thinking about that high value, man. Like I've been around them and I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like they got the money,
Right.
they single, they got the life, and they paying off, man.
Your boy not trying to marry you and start no fucking family. Like you tripping.
Yeah. I just never understood it. I mean I get it. I just don't understand. So my whole, I grew up around black women and that was preached to me, man. Like I I, I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Same
saying?
thing. Same thing.
I can't do that. So
And y'all and you from the islands, so I know it
yeah,
ain't no joke down there.
I always had just a keen awareness, right? Just that sixth sense, you know what I'm saying? That I just never made that mistake that he found himself in. But also, all this freaky stuff, man. Like everybody always talking about all this freaky stuff. You gotta have a certain mindset to me to be engaged with some of the stuff they doing. And again, when I mentioned earlier, where do you draw the line? You know what I'm saying? Like There ain't no line there. You know what I'm saying?
The
So you
line
gonna
is the space. The line is in space somewhere,
yeah.
man.
So if you going all the way, you going all the way, and that to me that just sets the precedence for this type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you talk about money hungry individuals, right? Who willing to set you up, who willing to record you, who willing to just have the mindset that they want to take something or break you down, right? So you got to be mindful as a man. To me, I got the starter package for you fellas. You know what I'm saying? Six figures, make six figures, set yourself up financially, you know, spiritually inclined, be in your Bible, reading your books, have a vision for your life, and then find you a nice chocolate woman, saying that, looks beautiful, awesome body, and would love to do all of those freaky things that you all like to do with all these women. You know what I'm saying? That's the starter package for you, fellas. Well, black men. That's who I'm talking. That's who I'm talking to here. But yeah, man, I think it's crazy that he put himself in this position with all the
The dumb
advice
job.
that you say he got from Monique, that he got from Cat Williams, verbatim, right? Like they
Right.
literally said this
Right.
for him to be at the highest level, right? To be thinking about, all right, I got a six-figure deal, potential opportunity coming here. And what this happened the day before, 2 days before,
After 50 million, half. I won't have Eddie, half. For real.
you don't want to talk on the phone. A lot of stuff I do, I won't do it on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta talk in person, or we
Right.
gotta talk off the record.
Or
Um,
FaceTime or
Yeah,
something.
like to literally be in a position where you getting recorded is crazy to me, and you saying that type of stuff over the phone. I don't know if it was a matter of foreplay or not, but you can't say this type of stuff, my guy. Any guy, please don't say you're gonna choke nobody out. You're gonna do none of that stuff, right? Um, I think it's just absurd, bro. And it just reminds me that even like when I continue to elevate my knowledge and I feel like I have a burning desire to share it, it almost seems pointless because there's record after record, example after example of what not to do, but somehow that feeling between the legs, it just discredits it all. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it ain't worth it. I get it. Some of these girls on Instagram is like, I don't know what age they are, but it's like I get it. I get it. But at the end of the day, man, this is what
There's nothing that can make me ever click the OnlyFans link to when it gets to the pay screen. Like there's
I ain't never
nothing.
been on it.
Or I don't I can never see nothing because you got to pay. So it's a paywall. So when you click to the OnlyFans link, some of them might have like you can just see pictures of them just like on Instagram, right? Because I ain't go some I can understand it as a single man, right? You when you on Instagram and you might hit that explore page and that's all you see, that shit might stop you in traffic. So then you gonna go look, you know what I'm
Well, yeah,
saying?
you can browse through, but like,
That's what I'm sitting there saying. So I'm saying, as a single man, I have the mentality. I'm not paying for shit. This is what it is. So I ain't paying for nothing in that realm. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was a G, if it ain't free booty sites, whatever, whatever, in the strip club, I'm not tipping you that much. Like that's why
I
I go
don't
to
even
Jacksonville.
go to the strip clubs.
In Jacksonville strip clubs, it's a cheap experience because you're not
Yeah,
gonna spend about that much damn money whenever you do frequent them, right? Um, like you said, Atlanta, Miami, yeah, I'm not going to the strip club. Cause I know the shit I pull in Jacksonville ain't gonna work in there. I'm gonna get tossed out. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to be drinking all damn night. So all I'm sitting there saying is the mentality of paying is just always been asinine to me. But we live in a world where dudes just rather just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. They don't want to have to converse and deal with a woman. You know what I'm saying? For better or for worse. Now this is another stage. Just the red glasses, red pill side of me. If you feel me, you feel me. This whole thing with Shannon Sharp could be an Illuminati ritual, a humiliation ritual, where he might come through this and blow up and go to levels we've never seen before. Because it seems like he just trying his best to get into Hollywood, and we know Hollywood is a weird place where you gotta go through some weird shit. Especially you ain't from that. Especially you not in that already. If you not in Hollywood, you got to do some shit to get into Hollywood. So maybe that's what he on. Cause like you said, he been under fire ever since he got big. When Skip Bayless told him to put his glasses on, he had the Lakers game with the weird dude. getting out the car at this hold wine looking crazy. I honestly he had a hip issue, but that just wasn't a good
Oh
look.
man.
Everything Shannon Sharp been under fire. I can't help but feel sorry for Shannon Sharp, man. He just can't win for losing, man. He
Yeah.
can't win for
I
losing.
mean, he been on one for sure, man. So
Uh,
I feel like this was a telltale sign, like something was gonna pop up, and this is just what it is. To me, it's a shame, but hey, man, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But man, fellas, I'm just trying to tell you,
how
man.
about age limit, man? Don't be talking. How about some? This is about yourself, bro. You can't be talking no. I'm 35. I can't talk no 21, man. She just not can buy liquor. What I'm gonna do with her? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what you mean? It's
No,
like you said, unless you in there for the conversation. I mean.
right.
I
I don't.
remember growing up, somebody told me like Jamal, 18-year-old is born, a new 18-year-old is born every day,
Right.
or birthday was every day. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know about
Nah,
that
that's some weirdos, bro. Them weirdos, some real weirdos, bro. Weirdo dudes. Like my thing is this: at what age do it stops? And
one.
what make
What stop?
do like if you don't have an age limit, right? There's a big okay. So the big convo going on right now is about the age of consent, age limit. So a lot of dudes sitting there saying 18 is good enough. So girls come out there saying, okay, well, what's the difference between a 16-year-old and 18-year-old? Besides the government just saying it's legal. In certain places, the age of consent is 16, not even 18. You know what I'm saying? So you trying to tell me as a 50, 40-year-old man, because the government said that the age of consent is 16, you find it within yourself saying it's good, and you gonna argue that? I done been seeing dudes get put on blast, getting blocked on social media, getting plastered because you running with this mentality because the government say it's okay. You don't have no type of confidence within yourself as a man to say, okay, that's enough. I don't need to go down that much farther. If you 40 and you can talk to an 18-year-old, what's stopping 16? What's stopping 14? What's stopping younger than that? So I'm looking at men like that sideways. Anyway, that's how
Well,
I always have been.
that's my point about this line. That whole you cross the line mentality.
Right,
To me, there is once you enter all of that, there is no line. You know, to
right.
your point, right? Like, what's stopping you? Ain't nothing stopping you. So
Nope.
this is what will stop you, fellas. Focus on your money and your business. Have a vision for your future, and get you a nice, beautiful chocolate wife.
I'm gonna add to that. You gotta study women. You gotta study and seek to understand women. A big thing I'm on right now is in all your get understanding. You gotta
Maybe it
understand
ain't
women.
it.
No, yes. Hey, boy. I'm telling you, since I've been out here.
What's
I've
the
been.
seek to understand? Because I got a wife. I
Well,
don't
yeah, yeah. So you
understand.
married. So you married. So
I
you
don't understand.
Yeah, when I was married, I wasn't dating, but not as a single man. In order, right? Listen, in order to avoid these pitfalls, you have to understand how to move out here with these women, bro. You can't be out here acting like it's 2010 and you gonna just sit out here and treat them like shit. No, that ain't gonna happen. They will sink your ship out here these days for acting crazy with them. So you got
Yeah.
you got to move in a upright. Man, I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying, you marry a girl, you meet. I'm just sitting there saying you gotta treat them as equal people on this earth.
Oh
That
yeah.
that dog in the mouth, that dog in the mouth should get you dogged out these days for sure.
Oh yeah. See me growing up, I love being in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that shit got so many benefits, boy.
Hey, I never understood the why people hated on that. Like,
It
let me
got
get in
so
the
many
friend zone.
benefits. It got
I,
so many
I
benefits.
go from there. But yeah, man, shout out to you know what I'm saying that situation. I hope all is true as far as everything was consensual. Ladies, you know what I'm saying, pick your men wisely. My fellas, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. We had too many
Get some control
examples
over
of
yourself,
this.
man. Get some dick control, man.
That
Get some dick control, man.
that is what it is, man. Stop with this freaky stuff, man. When you're freaky, you end up in jail. You end up getting sued. You
Yeah.
end up, we got Justin Tucker in the NFL, Deshaun Watson. You got Shannon Sharp. You got
All of
Diddy.
it.
What other examples y'all need? Trey Songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, let's wrap it
All
up.
of it,
Be
man.
safe. You know what I'm saying? Pray to God and get some discipline about yourself and stop this foolishness, man. So, I don't know, but one last thing before we wrap, man. I thought this was super cool. Mikey Williams, somebody again facing adversity. Um, I know we just talked about like Kyra and Lacey recently, but like Mikey Williams was a star in high school. Somebody who was, YouTube showing the videos, and then got caught up with a gun charge, and his college career has kind of derailed to the point. He was at UCF, didn't get a lot of spotlight, but he recently signed with Sacramento State. The reason I just want to shout this out, Mike Bibby is the head coach, and Shaq just became, I think, like the GM or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
something crazy. Yeah.
What impact do you think this could have on revitalizing somebody who's been through so much turmoil, was a
Oh
high school
man.
star, and then now
Oh man.
the future looks a little bleak?
Oh man. Even what we talking about when it comes to this somebody who just knowing how to stay out of trouble, Shaq is the guy. Cause you hear the underground stories about Shaq. Shaq know how to stay out of trouble. I believe him and Bibby, specifically Bibby, as far as just being a man and having it together. But Shaq will get you in place to let you know, hey boy, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Keep it cool. Get away from these certain friends. Shaq has always had that story, even back when he was rapping about this dreaming big, doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So I wish that brother well because his story was really a tragedy when it came forth like a year or so ago. So I think he around some good people.
Yeah, I think that was just why I wanted to bring it up. Shaq, of course, he's Shaq. But Mike Bibby, man, he's somebody who he was I love when he was at Sacramento. I always wanted it
Leader.
to be Kobe and the Shaq, Kobe and Shaq back then, but it is what it is. But Mike Bibby, he's just low key. He
Yeah.
puts in the work. He bring his lunch pail. Something that also impressed me is it might be in the Sacramento area, but he bought a cul-de-sac for his family. So his
Mm.
whole family lives on the
Mm.
cul-de-sac with all that real estate.
Hmm.
Real like just low key. It ain't no like over the top situation. And he just been building. He's still in the spotlight. He been working out like crazy. When
Yeah,
I
yeah, he
see
big.
him,
That boy big. That
yeah,
boy
he
big.
got big. And I think he's a perfect mentor for somebody like Mikey Williams to kind of get him on the right track. He played 14 years in the NBA, so he can give that knowledge as well. Plus, he has now Shaq in the background, and then the type of school he's at, there's no expectation, right?
Right,
So
right.
just ball out, develop,
Stay low key.
yeah, and hopefully things turn around. He can make it to the draft or get to
Yeah,
the G
that'd
League
be
or
a
whatever.
great story. A great story for him, man. Turn around because he was on his way before that happened. So
Yeah, so I mean, shout out to him. I think it's also just an idea of what could happen in college sports when we think about NIL and that's attracting people, but maybe just getting around the right people. So having the Eddie Georges in football, having the Mike Bibbies, now you got the Mike Vicks, having these type of people in the college
yeah, yeah,
realm
yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah,
mentors and really prepare these young athletes who have a lot of spotlight for the next step or next phase in their lives. I
yeah.
think it's a good thing. So I'm gonna pay attention and kind of see how that plans out this year. But just wanted to shout that out before we wrap. But shout out to Duval County, Jacksonville. We got the number one player in this year's draft,
He probably want you to burn that jersey.
Jalen Ramsey.
He hate the Jaguars. He probably want you to burn that jersey.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna hold on to it. I got Ernest Wilford. I got his jersey back
He
there.
was nice. He was nice.
He's a cop.
Wow. I
Yeah,
would
for
I, I, I wouldn't want to
JSO.
run that dude. I wouldn't want
Yeah,
to run him in no car.
yeah. I mean,
He
sometimes
might
you
have
can wear.
he might have snitched on Matt Jones.
Uh-oh.
It's all coming together. Oh, dope running ass Matt Jones.
Uh-oh. But yeah, man, shout out to the Jaguars. I'm looking forward to this year, man. I'm super excited. I might go to a game. I ain't gonna lie, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna stay tuned. I'm gonna report training camp when that kicks off. But shout out to the Jaguars. Shout out to Mikey Williams. Best of luck, Shannon Sharp, and let's see what these games turn out to be. So we'll be back next week. Check out
Salute
the
to
show.
Outkast.
Yeah,
Mm.
check out. I
Right.
mean, it was a great conversation with Ryan Langford. Put us up on game on that experience from
Yeah.
high school to the pro. So check that out. And keep tapping in, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see y'all next week
Shout
across
out.
the bridge.
Peace, peace, peace.